with barbstamps.com, and it must be Thursday night at 4 Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern, because I'm live on YouTube. Yay! I was, of course, not live last week. Last week was Thanksgiving on Thursday, and so I opted to not be live and have dinner with my family because my husband had to work. And so that's the life of law enforcement officer. You know, you work holidays. And unfortunately, this year he's worked the 4th, he's worked Thanksgiving, he works Christmas, and he works New Year's. So this year our holidays will be a little different. But I mean, it is what it is. What can you do? So anyway, oops, I need to turn this volume on this thing down because we don't need to hear me twice. Once is probably plenty for all of you. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing fantastic out there in the world. We are having unseasonably warm temperatures here in Sheridan, Wyoming. I think I have a piece of hair hanging in my face. Ugh. Anyway, I went to pick up my son from school today, and it was 68 or 69 degrees. Aha! There's the culprit. Oh, this is embarrassing. I'm going to probably yank this sucker right out of my head because it's poking me in the eye. Anyway, it was like 69, 68, 70 degrees out today, and I couldn't believe it. It's December. It's Wyoming. 70-degree weather is not the norm here. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I shouldn't complain. It's better than, 40 below, which it absolutely could be at this time of year. But, yeah, so there you go. So those of you that have been following me for a while, you will know that my son had a surgery on Tuesday up in Billings, Montana. So we drove up there and he had his surgery and we came home. Everything went great. When I flip the camera, I'll show you guys what they did to his wrist. I have showed this before, but some of you are new to watching me and you might be interested in it. It's actually quite the crazy procedure, honestly. So yeah, so it looks like you guys are having some unseasonably, well, of course, Cheryl's in Colorado, so that's really close to Wyoming. So I'm not surprised, Cheryl, that you guys are having crazy weather too. Oh, Terry says it's freezing in New York City, or New York, maybe not New York City. I don't know exactly where you are, Terry, but she says it's freezing. Let's see, who else is mentioning? Cheryl says her husband works holidays, but he took Christmas off this year. Nice, Cheryl. That's awesome. Unfortunately, my husband can't because they are short people, as of course most law enforcement agencies are, due to the craziness of the world right now. And so there aren't enough people to cover, so he can't have any of the holidays off. So there you go. All right. We've got people from all over. We've got people in the UK watching. Wow, that's pretty cool. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate the view. No snow. Yeah, Cheryl, we had that gigantic snowstorm back in like October 12th or something like that, where we got like 12 inches of that super heavy wet snow. I think I mentioned to you guys I was out shoveling and a limb came off the tree and landed on my back. I tried to turn and get out of the way, but I was not fast enough. Anyways, it hit me and I had a bruise, but I'm fine. So there you go. Okay, gosh, I always like to wait a few minutes and let people get on because not everybody, can get on right at 5 o'clock. And so I don't like to start the actual stamping part of the show until we have a few more people watching because I don't want anyone to be, sad face because they missed me stamping because there you go. All right. Oh, Cheryl's so sweet. Cheryl says, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate that very much. I would also appreciate it if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, right down in the corner, and I think my camera's backwards, but it might be here, it might be here. There should be like a little subscribe button. And then there should be some sort of a little bell icon that you can click that will actually notify you when I am going live, when I upload new videos, that kind of thing. And I think if you're a subscriber, when I set up one of these live videos, one of these live events, I think you get notified if you're a subscriber and you have hit the bell, and then you'll be notified, as soon as I create the event. I think you'll notice, and you'll be aware of it. So that's awesome. Otherwise, I do post it on my Facebook page. I posted on my Facebook page. I posted on my VIP group. I posted for my team members. I try to post it around. I did post it on Instagram today, but it's hard to do links on Instagram because Instagram doesn't like links in your posts, so it's a little bit difficult. And yes, Wendy said she's looking forward to the shenanigans that's going to be happening here next week. In case you guys don't know, Dina and Kelly are coming to visit me. Yay! This will probably be the 4th time I think they've driven here. from Iowa. Kelly typically will drive to Iowa to Dina's house, pick up Dina, and then they drive here. And from Dina's house, it's about 15 hours drive, if I remember right. So it's quite the haul for them. But they do enjoy chatting along the way and stopping and seeing fun things and eating. Other than, if they were to fly, they'd have to like board a plane very early in the morning. They'd have to probably fly to Denver or Salt Lake City. And then they'd have to fly to either Casper, Wyoming, or Billings, Montana. And then I would have to drive 2 hours to pick them up. And then we'd have to come back here. And then when they left, we'd also have to drive 2 hours to the airport. So, I mean, it probably takes, honestly, about the same amount of time to fly here as it would to drive. But I think they have a lot more fun driving. So it's a good time. I know, Lisa, we love each other and we can't wait. And they love coming here. And I honestly don't really know why they love coming here so much. Maybe it's because they get away from their own homes, their own crazy lives. I don't know. They each have their own room when they come here because my daughter has moved out. So we have extra bedrooms. So they each have their own room, which is really nice for them. There's a bathroom right behind me that they share. We have 3 bathrooms in our house, so they get to share the one that's behind me. And I have plenty of room on my stamping table for 3 people. And so, yeah, I think, it's just some get away from, the regularness of your life. It's almost like, you're traveling, you're going somewhere fun. And of course it is fun. So there you go. Mary Ellen says she's in Montana. Mary Ellen, I have heard about some of those awful fires. Oh, I'm hoping you guys get some rain at minimum. Snow would be good, but I mean, rain would probably put it out quicker than the snow. I don't know, but I've heard about that and it sounds horrible, especially at this time of year. December, fires raging, that's craziness. So yeah, my prayers and everything are going out to you guys up there because that's just awful. I think that we are going to flip the camera now and I'm going to show you a few things. I'll show you the picture of my son's surgery so you can see that, what they did. It's like I said, it's a very cool thing what they did. So let me see. I'm going to pull my camera out of this little holder. I guess I'm just going to cover it up. So I know sometimes people get ill. They don't like the motion and I get it. Sometimes it can be a little annoying. Oh, I didn't flip the camera. There's my ceiling. Woohoo! I still didn't flip the camera. Why does this thing is so difficult to flip? Maybe it's my phone is old. There we go. Okay. Hold on while I get everything leveled up here because I don't like it to be like out of whack. And I feel like this thing, I had some issues with it. Right before I went live, I was doing something and a little tiny screw fell out of my camera or out of my mount. And I was like, what in the heck? Where did that thing come from? Who knows where it came from? So I'm going to have to do a little investigating after I'm done here to see what's going on. Now something's not right here. Ugh. Sorry, you guys. Things just annoy me. Okay, I think that's good. All right. These are some actual cards that I got for Thanksgiving. This is from one of my team members, Barbara. Barbara loves making fun folds, and she is very good at it. So here is a very nice fun fold card that Barbara made for me. And then this is from Terry, and Terry's actually on tonight. So thank you so much, Terry. She's so sweet. She thinks about me every holiday and always sends me something, and I do really appreciate that. Okay, let me find, it might be in the back here. Here we go. So my son's been having problems with his wrist for a couple of years now. He had fallen snowboarding and he fell kind of like this. And what he ended up doing was tearing some ligaments down here at the base of his thumb. Okay, so this is an x-ray of his hand. This is the base of his thumb. So it's kind of like this. So it's down here. So what they did was they do this procedure called the mini tightrope, where they actually drill through his bone right here. They drill over to this metacarpal and they drill through that. And they put these little... he called them manhole covers, the surgeon, but they're just these little discs that hold this twine, rope, braided filament stuff, whatever it is, so that his thumb can only go so far out because the ligaments are torn in there. So anyways, that's what he had done. I mean, it's the craziest thing that they can actually fix your hand just by drilling a hole and putting a piece of thread in there. Not thread, but you know what I'm saying. So anyways, that's what he had done. And that's very exciting. It's finally done. He is recovering. He is in an exorbitant amount of pain these days. But, he finally went to school today. And yeah, so it's very cool. So he's got it all wrapped up, and he can use it. It's fixed. It's just that it's sore. So I mean, his pain is his guide, obviously, to using it. He's got a big old bandage on it that he can't take off until Sunday. So he has to wear this big. They gave us these plastic gloves, and when they said they were giving us these plastic gloves, I thought, oh, a plastic glove. Okay, cool. Well, these gloves go from your hand up to your shoulder. That's how long this glove is. And then we just rubber banded it to his arm at the top so he couldn't get his hand wet. So anyway, it's very cool. And I can't wait to see, the incisions he told us were like 3 millimeters. So he's got like a little tiny 3 millimeter incision here and then a little one right in here between these two metacarpals. So I'm interested to see how they look. And he said you'll be able to see those little end pieces. You'll be able to feel them. He said, but don't. He said, because if you keep messing around with it in there, you can damage the tissue that's inside. He said, so just don't play with it. You won't be able to see it and you won't feel it unless you're digging around for it, the surgeon said. So anyways, he had injured himself a couple of years ago. We had been in and out of the doctor office here. Finally, the radiologist here, after a second MRI with contrast, said, I think I see some torn ligaments in there. The orthopedic guy here said that's not my specialty, so he sent us to a specialist in Billings, and it's done. So these are the projects that I did for you guys last time I was live. Now, one of them is missing. You'll notice it was a little cup. We sell those little coffee cups, and I made a super cute cup for my daughter. She was home over Thanksgiving, so I can't show you the cup because she took it with her. But we did make this really cool spanner card, and somebody that was on here gave me the idea of putting that little detail, I think her name was Mary, on that second layer, and then we have the inside. So this is a spanner card, very, very cool. So if you're wanting to know how to make that, it's in my last live that I did. And then this is the other card that we did using the whimsical trees, I think. Now the paper, from what I understand, is sold out. So you can no longer get this paper. Unfortunately, it's amazing. So hopefully you got it if you wanted it. And anyway, yeah. So those were the cards that I made last time. Spanner card, and I don't even know what you call this, just some DSP. Okay, so let me grab the things that are going on. We've got our last chance list. The link is in the description of this video. At least I think I saved it. Let me check here very quickly. And I think I did. Oh, well, maybe somebody can tell me. Did I put the links to those in the description of this video? I mean, I thought I did. Oh, I did. Okay, yay. So you can click on the links. These are some, there's a lot of really cool things on here that's gone. Thank you so much, Jamie. Oh, Jamie's one of my team members. Yay. And Lisa, yes, I'm so glad his wrist is fixed. Yes, thank goodness. Finally done. So the last chance list, if you'll notice on the list, like it says the Stars Are Shining bundle, it says the stamp set's retiring, but the punch is carrying over. So there is a lot of notes that I've given you for the different items, because some things will say it's retiring, but it's actually the price, the bundle price that's retiring, because normally when you buy a bundle, you get a 10% discount. But after this publication is done, anything that carries over, typically you do not get the bundle discount anymore. So keep that in mind as you're looking at the list. Also, it's only 2 pages. I realize it's a little bit small, but I didn't want it to be too many pages for you to have to print. So it's a really nice list. Then we also have our July to December mini catalog carryover list. Anything in red, there's little notes with that. Some of these items are going to be back in the July to December mini catalog, meaning that you'll be able to buy them up and through January 3rd, but after that you won't be able to buy them until the next holiday catalog goes live, which would be about July 2nd-ish or something. So that's also on there, so that's pretty handy. Throwing things on the floor. We also just had a clearance rack refresh yesterday, you guys. So there are some savings up to 60% off on the clearance rack right now. Here's my host code. If you want to order something from me, I would greatly appreciate that. The link to my store is in the description of this video. It's simply shoppingwithbarb.com. So pretty easy to remember. And I would very much appreciate it. I still have handmade cards for sale. Let me grab a pack. Sorry, I wasn't quite ready. Here is a pack my Christmas cards. So there are 20 cards in a package, either Christmas or all occasion. You choose whatever you want. No two packages are the same, and I do not take any sort of requests. I just go through the cards that I have. I bundle up your package and I send it out to you. So the links to purchase those cards are in the description of this video. And they're both $25 for 20 cards plus the shipping. Ooh, my Elegantly Said bundle class is, I still have, I think I have 5 of these left. So it uses the Elegantly Said bundle. It's all fun folds, and they're really cool fun folds, let me just tell you. Some of you that are watching probably have purchased the class from me and can vouch for how cool the cards are. So if you're interested in a class to go, link is in the description. The Eden's Garden online class is also ready to go. I've got kits ready to mail out right now. You can get the kits for $45, the online only version for $20, or the whole shebang, which is the Eden's Garden collection, the gold ribbon and gold foil sheets for $116. I think I have 2 of the artistically inked classes left, so the links to those should be in the description. You can get it free if you buy the whole shebang, or you can get the kit for $45, online only $25. We do have a really cool bag that you can gift the cards in, so it'd be a great Christmas gift. Oh, and my sweet little stockings class. I still have 3 of these left, and it's a super cute class. Here's little sneak peeks of all the cards in there. You can see sort of Peaceful Deer. I've got 2 of these left. This is a 9-card class, super cute, of course. The Christmas season class, I think I have 3 of these left. And if you want to know what's in these classes, you can always click on, there's a link in the description of this video that says, you know, how to get to my online class page on my blog, and that'll give you some more information. I still have adhesive kits. I'm going to try to always have adhesive kits until I can't get these cute little bags anymore. But they do come in these cute little zippered pouches, various colors. I think I have yellow, green, purple, blue, red, and black with the rainbow stripes. And you get a bunch of different adhesives. You get iron tape, dimensionals, a seal, liquid glue, glue dots, a ruler, an adhesive eraser, and a sand eraser, which helps you if you get a little bit of ink on your projects. Sand eraser will help you kind of clean that up and get rid of it. So adhesive kits are $40 if you purchase anything else at the same time, or $45 if you just purchase it alone. So you basically get the free shipping if you purchase it with something else. Stamp Happy Academy. Kelly and Dina just uploaded their classes within the last couple of days for the month of November. So my Elegantly Said class is already in there. In fact, all those classes I just showed you, the PDF files of all of those are on Stamp Happy Academy. So our basic Stamp Happy Academy members have access to all those classes. There's probably there's got to be 45-ish classes on there so far now since we started Stamp Happy Academy back in January. So we're coming up on our anniversary. So who knows what kind of special we may offer. We're probably going to go over some of that stuff while they're here visiting me. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then finally, I have been doing my 12 weeks of Christmas ideas. I have to confess, it hasn't been exactly every week. Some weeks you get 2. Some weeks you get 3, some weeks you get 1, you never know, but there are links to all of the projects in every time I send one out. There's links to the holiday project. So there you go. Okay, now we can start stamping. We should have had enough time for everyone to get on. So if you guys wouldn't mind liking and sharing the video, that would be awesome. That really helps me out a lot. It helps me grow my YouTube channel, which is important as as a business person. That's how you gain new customers, is by growing your social media. That's the thing now. So I would appreciate that. Our first project today is going to be using the Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper and the Sweet Little Stockings bundle, which of course is the Sweet Little Stocking stamp set and the stocking dies. And I did mention I do have an online or a class to go with that. So you get all the pre-cut cardstock pieces to make 8 cards, 2 each of 4 designs. You get the Designer Series paper, you get the decorative dots, you get a half pack of the Elegant Faceted Gems, and you get the 2 styles of ribbon in the kits. And they're $45. And I do have some still for sale in the description of this video. I'm trying to find a place to put that. Okay. Oh, I have 2 of them sitting here. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so let me get my supply kit for the card today. So we're going to have a Whisper. No, it's not Whisper White anymore. It's Basic White. And you can see I have like a nice little smudgy on here. But the beauty of that is we're going to cover that up so I don't have to throw that out or anything. I can still use it. Okay, so the first thing that I did was I took the tag out of the stocking dies set, and it had a scrap of white, and I ran it through. So I just placed my die on the scrap of white, and then I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going to move my iPad up here so I can see your comments as we're going along here, if I need to answer any questions or anything like that. So yeah, okay. So that's what I did. Then I flipped this around, and if you get it right on there, you can feel it will like click into place. There's all these little like stitching marks on the die, and it will find itself its stitching lines, and you can just stick it back on there. It'll lock itself into the stitching lines. You can run that through again, and then you will get whatever size you want. So I pulled mine down a little bit. So I just have this cute little rectangle now that is ready for me to add to my card with stitching lines all around it. So there is a quick tip on how to use that. All right, so this is going to be a pretty simple card, honestly. So I am going to butt these pieces of Designer Series paper together and Scotch tape them on the back. So these are all 4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And so I am just going to flip them like this, and I'm going to bring in some Scotch tape. So I've got them all together because it's easier, I find, to put this one piece onto the card rather than try to put each piece individually and then try to line them up and make sure they're not crooked. And you know how it is. You know what I'm saying. It can be a little bit difficult. So no, I don't want Seal Plus. I just want regular seal. So now I'm going to add this to my card front. There we go. Oh, I know. I was going to ask you guys, have any of you watched, now don't spoil it for me, but have any of you watched a show on Hulu called Only Murders in the Building? I just kind of stumbled across it the other night. It's got Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez. And we've only watched like 1.5 episodes, or no, 2.5, because we started watching episode 3 last night, and my Hulu kind of screwed up and stopped working, so we couldn't ever get it back. But I think it's got 10 episodes in it, and it's actually very interesting so far. We're both really enjoying just the first 2.5 episodes that we've seen so far. So if you guys are looking for something kind of cool to watch, there is, disclaimer, there is a bit of bad language. So if you don't like bad language, it might not be the show for you. That doesn't always bother me. So oh, Wendy said it's an awesome show to watch it. So did Margaret. Okay, good. Yeah, don't spoil it for me, you guys. I don't want to know anything. But yeah, we're 2.5 episodes in, so I'm hoping that the Hulu works tonight, because that's what I want to do after we get this live done and I make some food. I want to watch the show. Okay, so then I have my little label here, and I have, I chose this sentiment set called Lighthearted Lines, because I didn't want to make this necessarily a Christmas card. I just wanted to kind of make it a thank you card. And I don't really feel like these patterns have to be Christmas. I feel like they can be, anything you want. And so we're going to make a thank you card. So I'm going to bring in my cherry color ink and this grosgrain ribbon, which is on sale for $6.30. It's part of the clearance list. And I should mention also that the dies are half off. So I think the stamp set is about $22, $23. And the die set was normally like $33, but now the die set is half price. So if you do purchase this, don't purchase it as a bundle. Purchase the items individually, because it's a little bit cheaper right now with the last chance list. So just wanted to throw that out there and share that with you. And then of course the ribbon's on sale too. So let me get this on here. And speaking of that show, I did read that they have signed up to do a season 2. So I have no idea how this season is going to end, but I'm already very excited to see season 2. Okay, so this is just going to kind of barely fit on there. I'm just kind of trying to eyeball it. There we go. So it says, thanks for lending an ear and keeping a straight face, which I thought was kind of funny. So then what I'm going to do is, I am terrible at this, you guys. Zigzagging ribbon. Okay. I am a little bit anal. Some people call it particular attention to detail, whatever you want to call it, that's me. And so I have a very hard time. A lot of people can just like put this on and they put it there and they flip it and they flip it and then they're done. I can't do that. The ribbon has to look, it has to be nice. So I have done this already. I have kind of laid it on my table. I figured out how long it needed to be for it to look good. And yeah, I already did it. So, and then I put a little piece of tape across it because, yeah, because that's just how I roll. So anyway, so I'm going to stick this. Let's see, where do I want it to go? I think I want it to go like this. Yes. So that's going to go on the back. But first, I have to do a little bit of stamping, and I need to find a scrap. Here's one. Lord knows there's scraps around here all the time. And I have a little kitty cat in this stamp set. If I can get my little goodie off here. Here's a block. Wow, I've just got everything I need right here in front of me. That's amazing. Okay, so we'll stamp our little kitty on there. Ooh, Penny's on here. Penny is my neighbor and one of my team members. Hello, Penny. All right, so we've got kitty cat stamped in Memento because we're going to do a little bit of coloring for kitty cat. But I'm going to let it dry a little bit. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and tack this, get this on here. Let's see, where do I want it exactly? Kind of like this, I think, but we need to have it a little farther over. Maybe like this. Okay, and I do have some tiny pieces of Scotch tape. I'm going to add a little bit more just because I feel like that's probably not going to be enough. Okay, then we can bring in some dimensionals. And I'm not going to add the dimensionals to the ribbon. I'm going to add them around the ribbon. I feel like, you know, with the ribbon, that if you added the dimensionals to the ribbon, that's just going to make your card like extra bulky, and it's not really necessary to be that bulky. And sometimes the post office doesn't like it and they get mad at you and they charge you extra money. So we try to make the post office happy. Okay, so we'll do something like that. All right, so kitty cat hopefully is ready to be colored. So I've got my Smoky Slate Light and Dark Stampin' Blends. And I'm just going to start out by going around the edge of kitty here with the dark. And a little bit on the paws. Oops, I went out of the line. And then a tiny line up here in the ears. Because then I'm going to bring in my light and I'm going to kind of pull that dark over, but I don't want to get the eyes because I'm going to do the eyes in Pool Party. But I do want to kind of drag that dark, just give it a little bit of shading there. And then maybe try to keep it lighter in the, right in the middle where the little mouth is. And let's get these cute little paws. I have to say, I used to have cats when I was younger. We were a cat family, not a dog family. I did not become a dog family until I married my husband because he was allergic to cats. And we had cats. Oh my gosh, I just love cats so much. They're so, well, I mean, they can be jerks sometime too, you know, because they're a little bit more, what's the right word for cats? Independent, I guess, than dogs. And so they can, you know, they can kind of tell you, you know, leave me alone. I've had enough of you, whereas a dog would never probably tell you that. But my cats they were fun, and I really enjoyed having them until I met my husband and we got married, and my mom had to take them for me. So thankfully she was willing to take them. Anyways, I digress. So I would then go to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut Kitty out. You could also, there's a little puppy in here and this little hamster. So any of these little things, I think would be adorable on here. So Kitty's going to just kind of be hanging out up here at the top. So I'm just going to add a little bit. Where's my liquid glue? Oh, here it is. I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue, like maybe on the paws, since the paws are going to hang over the edge of the paper. Oh, you know what else I could do? I could put a dimensional maybe on the back of Kitty's head here, just so it's like even with the sentiment piece. Like that, perhaps. So cute. Okay. Oh, yes, I am using the Pool Party striped ribbon. Thank you very much, Heather. I appreciate that. It's on sale. It's part of the last chance list, so it's not an item that's carrying over. So if you do like it, it's a really nice ribbon. It ties really nicely. It's very pliable. It's cute. It's not super thick. So anyway, get it if you like it. And then the last thing I wanted to do was, we do have these cute little matte decorative dots that go along with this collection of stuff. And so I thought maybe just adding a few of these Old Olive dots down here might be interesting. So, oh, what happened to it? It was on my Take Your Pick tool, and then it was not. Maybe we'll go with the big one. I think my putty needs to be replaced on this Take Your Pick tool. It looks to be a little dried out. So let's, and my whole thing I think is about, I think I need to replace my whole thing. Anyway, okay. So we have those two, and then I think we're going to take one more, this little guy right here, and maybe stick it up there. There, cute. Okay, so that is card number 1. You know, and we could do, was I going to do something to the inside? Maybe we'll put this little friend inside. He's kind of cute, isn't he? Yes, he's very cute. So let me add just a little tiny bit of adhesive. There, why not? Why not add another little friend inside? Okay, so let me clean up my little bits here and add these. Hello, Pam. Good to see you. And I appreciate you guys sharing and liking the video. And every time you comment, of course, that just helps me also. YouTube likes the interaction. So as you're interacting with me, that will have YouTube share this with other people. So that's also very helpful. So thank you. Okay, let me kind of put some things away. I don't like to have a big mess when I'm done, which is hilarious because I'm going to have a big mess when I'm done, regardless if I want to or not, because that's just how it goes. But we're going to try. We'll see what happens. Oh, kitty cat. We need to clean kitty cat off. There. Okay, next bucket. Okay, so this is kind of funny. This is a card that I made when I first got the Eden's Garden collection. I was kind of playing around with it and just making some things. And I made this card that I'm going to show you. And then I didn't actually make a video for it or anything. So you may have seen it. I may have shown it, you know, while I was doing some lives or something, but I haven't actually done a video or anything like that on it. So as I was looking at it today, you know, I thought to myself, gosh, you know, it is Christmas, and some of you are probably done with Christmas. You've got all your Christmas cards done and everything like that. But some of you may still need some like gift card holders. And so I thought, I'm going to take this card and I'm going to turn it into a gift card holder. And you know what? It was so simple. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start out with a piece of soft succulent cardstock. And this measures 5.5 by 10.5. And I need my paper trimmer, because we are going to score this at, no, I can't remember, 2. We're going to score that 2. Get my cutting blade out of the way. We don't want to cut it. We just want to score it. So let me line this up. There we go. Pam says, good. She's always looking for gift card holders. Good, because this is a simple one. So we're going to fold this to the inside of the card. And when you burnish it, you want to make sure that you're lining it up on the edges. You don't want to have, you know, like cards showing on either side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. But honestly, I'm kind of going against the grain. When you cut your paper, let me grab a piece just in case you don't know this. Normally, when you make a card, you take a piece of cardstock and you cut it right down the middle. And then teachers that I used to do parties for called that the hamburger way. If you cut it this way, they said if you turned it the long way and cut it, that was the hot dog way. So typically we will cut the hamburger way and have 2 5.5 by 8.5 inch pieces. And then when you fold those, this is the way the paper wants to go. You can feel it when you take your piece of paper and you kind of do this with it. You can tell that it wants to fold that way. When you come this way, you can feel a little bit of resistance. And so that's kind of like against the grain. And that's what I'm working with here, because it's long, and when I fold like that, I'm going against the grain. So I'm going to score this. So this should be 8.5 inches long, if I cut it right. Yes, it is. So I am now going to score this at 4 1/4. That's just going to help me fold it. So we're going to score that. If you don't have any problems folding it, or it doesn't bother you that sometimes the folds can look, sometimes your fold lines can look kind of bad if you don't score them first when you're going against the grain. I've noticed you can get like some roughed up stuff there. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Basically, it's a card, but then we have created a flap on the inside so that we can do that. Okay, Christmas cards are done. Good job, Cheryl. You guys are funny. Okay, so I do have a tiny bit of excess there and a little bit of there. So I'm just going to bring in this tiny trimmer, and I'm just going to kind of cut that off because that's going to bother me. Okay, so then I have some more pieces in here that we're going to use. Let me pull them out. Got some designer series paper. I've got a gift card. Well, it's a used gift card, but it's a gift card. Okay, so we have the front here. So on the front, I have a piece of this designer series paper. This comes out of the Eden, what is it called? Ever Eden designer series paper. Is that what it's actually called? Yes, Ever Eden. Here's the paper itself in case you aren't aware. The stamp set and the dies. Right now, the Eden's Garden and the Eden dies are available early. They're going to be in the next catalog, but they're available now. Then we also have the Ever Eden Specialty Designer Series paper, some cotton paper, and these gorgeous garden gems. These items are not going to be available after January 3rd. Okay. So if you do like this paper, you do like these gems, you need to get them in December before they're gone. Okay. All right. So we're going to use some of the paper. And so I've chosen this pattern here, and this piece measures, I think it's 3 by 5 1/4. Let me measure it really quickly. Yes, 3 by 5 1/4. And then I also have a very skinny sliver of gold foil. And I'm just going to add the gold foil to the edge of this designer series paper. So let me just sort of squirt a little bit of glue along the edge there. And I'm going to bring in a silicone mat because I have a feeling that the glue might squeeze out. So we'll see. And I just want a little bit of this gold foil to show. So maybe, I don't know, a 1/16-ish of an inch. Not much. Okay, so we've got that. Then we can snip off the edge. Oh, thank you very much. Mary says she just shared the video. I appreciate that very much, Mary. Thank you. All right, so this is going to go on the front, so make sure that's still the front. Have you ever put your card together backwards? Yeah, I have. And then even after I did it, I have done it again. So what do you do? All right, so this is going to go about like so. So I basically just lined up these 3 edges so they have equal distance on them. There is a glue booger hanging out on my table here, and that's bugging me. Okay. Then I took the, I can't remember what they're called. Do I have them? Oh, yes, the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And I got the largest scalloped rectangle, and I did that with basic white. And that's going to go on the card right here. But I also have a piece of designer series paper for the inside. So this little flap here measures 2 by 5 1/2. So this measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to add that to our little gift card pocket. Okay. And this one will have equal distance all the way around it. There we go. And now I did want to put a little thumb hole in here, and we don't sell circle punches anymore. Barb, what was the name of the first stamp set? Was it the Sweet Little Stockings, Wendy, or are you talking about the Sentiment stamp set? Let me grab them. We had the Sweet Little Stockings, and then I also used the Lighthearted Lines as the Sentiment piece. Hopefully that helps. Okay. So I wanted to put a little thumb hole in there. So the closest thing I could find to a circle was this fancy label punch. Sentiment. Okay, Lighthearted Lines. And I'm going to slide this in, and I'm centering it from side to side. And I'm just going to take a little snip out of this little spot here so we can easily get our gift card out. There we go. Okay, so that when I slide my gift card in, you have a little thumb hole to pull that out. So now with this little flap here, I'm just going to add some adhesive to this area here and this area here. And then we're going to close that up. We're going to do it kind of gently. I don't want glue to squish out all over because that just makes a mess. Nobody likes that. Okay, so we have that done. So now this is going to go on the outside, but I want to decorate it. So I am going to do a little bit of stamping as far as with a sentiment. So I've got the stamp set called Holly Jolly Wishes. I'm going to make a Christmas card out of this. And I also have my Evening Evergreen ink. And so I'm going to ink this up. 'Tis the season to be jolly. And we're going to, you know what, I'm going to bring in a scrap paper first because I don't trust myself that I've lined this up and it's going to be straight. So bear with me while I do a little tester here. What do you know about that? It was. However, if I wouldn't have tested it, it would have been off because that's how it goes. Okay, there we go, right down there in the corner. So we'll let that kind of dry. And while we're doing that, we are also going to be using, where is it? This tree punch. Oh, hold on, I have a stamp stuck to it. We're going to be using this tree punch, and we're going to give ourselves a few tree punch outs. So I'm going to do one out of Evening Evergreen. Okay. I'm going to do one out of Soft Succulent. And then for my final one, I'm going to bring back in the Ever Eden paper. And the paper that I'm using on this card, the back side of it is this ombre piece. Okay. And you can tell it's a little bit lighter than the Evening Evergreen and clearly darker than the Soft Succulent. So it's kind of a nice third color, I felt, for this card because I wanted to have 3 trees on it. And there we go. Whoops, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to flip it upside down this time and punch it so that the weirdness goes to the back. So you can kind of see the way I punched it, it kind of tore it a little bit. So I just flipped it over and now we're good. So then the Eden's Garden stamp set comes with all these fun little foliage pieces. And so I'm going to decorate my trees with these foliage pieces. So let's get them all onto our scrap paper here. And so let's see, this is one of the stamps. Let's see, which one am I doing on this one? I think I'm going to do the designer series paper. No, I'm going to do this one. So I'm just going to kind of randomly stamp this on my little tree here, just to give it a little bit of interest. So when I put it on the card, it's not just a blank tree. It's got a little bit of interest to it. Okay, so we're going to do that same thing with this little guy here on the smaller. There we go. Maybe come in from the side. And like that. Okay, so there's 2. And then I have one more little foliage piece that I took out of there, and I'm going to do it on the designer series paper. I feel like this ink pad is a little bit screwy. Maybe that. Okay, so we have 3 trees, and we're going to add those to our little piece here. And I'm going to do this one just flat without any dimension to it. Whoops, I got glue on it. There we go. And so this one I'm going to kind of set up here, not quite to the top. Okay. And then these 2 I'm going to add with some dimensionals, and I had some dimensionals. Here we go. So I'm going to put a tiny dimensional up at the top of the tree and then a larger dimensional at the bottom. Tiny dimensional and a larger one. And then we're just going to add these to the Scallop rectangle. I can't even pick it up. I have literally no fingernails. Let's see. Evening Evergreen. I know, me too, Wendy. I really like them. And not even just for Christmas. I just find them to be nice colors. And the more I use them, of course, the more I like them. So there you go. All right, and then this one we can kind of have down here on the side of the sentiment a little bit. Okay. Then we're going to bring in the gems. And we're going to add some gems to the card. These gems are really, really pretty. All right, so we'll go with one maybe up here in between these two trees. Maybe one there. And maybe one, whoops, it's stuck on my putty. Now my putty is too sticky. Okay. Thanks, you guys. I kind of really liked this too. It made me very happy when I got it done. Like I said, I've probably had it for over a month, just kind of sitting here waiting to do something with it. I thought, you know what? Tonight's the night. We're going to use this and we're going to do it. All right, so we're going to add this to the front. There we go. And then we have our spot for our gift card. And then, get out of the way, we can add another sentiment. We can have this gigantic Merry Christmas to you. Let me find a bigger block. Ugh. It's clear on the other side of the stamp table. And of course it has glue on it. All right. I keep wishing that Stampin' Up! Would come out with lined blocks. They used to sell these things that are on my blocks, or like window clings. I gotta test this. They used to sell these. Oh, that's pretty good. They don't anymore, and it's really a bummer because I'm addicted to them, so I can't stamp without them. But I'm hopeful that they will eventually, maybe in the future, hopefully, come out with blocks that have grids on them, because that would be very cool. Okay, so there it is. So here's our card. We open it up. We can put our gift card in there, and it's good enough that it won't go anywhere, but it's still a regular size card. So it's kind of a trick. Yeah, it's so simple. So it was 10.5 by 5.5. Score it at 2. Fold that little flap over, and then you've got a gift card holder. So here's my original card, where it's just a card with no gift card holder inside, and then the gift card holder inside. So there you go. And this one, actually, this tree here is a piece of that cotton paper. But it's a little bit, sometimes it's harder to work with. You have to like fold it over on itself and then use a piece of copy paper to get a punch to work in it. It can be done, but I just did for ease. I just went ahead and grabbed that ombre paper because I felt like it gave the same look that I was going for. So there you go. All right, let me gather up all the stuff here that I don't need. I still need this tree punch because we're going to use it again. And I need to clean these off. I hate putting them away dirty because then I always like reach in there and they've gotten ink on this, that, and the other thing. And then it's just messy. And I don't like that. All right. They're clean enough to go into the bucket. And here's our extra tree. Maybe I'll add that to something else. Push all those tools over there. All right, so let us move on to our final project. Boy, we are making pretty good time tonight, you guys. I shouldn't say that because now what'll happen is something's going to go wrong and then it won't work out. Isn't that how it works? Murphy's Law. If I say something's going great, then it won't anymore. All right. This card, well, actually, it's another gift card holder, and it's a kind of a cool thing. And I don't know, I made one of these a long time ago when we first came out with our stitched rectangle dies. And I found it while because I've been going through, all these cards that I've been selling. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I do have packs of cards for sale. If you're interested, there's links in the description of this video. You can get either 20 Christmas cards or 20 all occasion cards for $25 each, plus the shipping. It's priority shipping. And all the packages are different. There's no requests or anything like that. But yeah, if you are interested in some cards, I have a lot of cards. I make a lot of cards and I don't have the people to send them to. I mean, I still send out a lot of cards, but I still have a lot of cards. So there you go. So we're going to be using the Heartwarming Hugs and the rectangle stitched dies. We're also going to be using the layering circles dies. We're going to bring in the Perfectly Plaid stamp set, and of course the tree punch again. And then we're also going to use one die out of this Warm Wraps set. Because this circle, oh, see, look what happened. I've got ink on myself already. I obviously touched that before it was clean. Good thing I saw that. Oh, and look at that. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Messy, 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 messy. So messy. Okay. So this Warm Wraps set has this cute little circle that has stitching on it. And so I wanted to use that. So that's why I pulled this in. If you don't have this, you don't need it. You can use any kind of circle. You can use a circle punch. Just whatever you happen to have is totally fine. Okay, so we're using a lot of different things, but you could improvise with whatever you have in your own arsenal. Okay, so to start out with, we have a piece of real red cardstock. We have something that I have die cut, and then we have a bunch of pieces and parts here. I need to get, okay, what is this? Oh yeah, okay. So starting out with, we have a piece of red. This is 4, pretty sure it's 4 by 11. Yeah, it's 4 by 11. And we're going to do some scoring. What did I do with my paper trimmer? I had it. Oh, here it is. So we're going to score this a bit. So we're going to start out. We're actually going to need to pull the whole arm out for this. So we're going to start it at the 4-inch mark. Get my cutting blade out of the way. So then we're going to scoot it over to 5.5. Okay, and then we're going to scoot it over to 7. And we're done. So 4, 5.5, and 7. Okay, so then we are going to bring this layer up to the front, like that. Then we're going to fold this one back, this one up. So we're basically making a gigantic W, okay? And so you just want to make sure that all your sides line up, everything's good. And then if it's not, then we can trim off excess, which I do if I have to. Okay, we got that. Make sure this is all lined up. And we'll do that. Okay, so we have a giant W. Or we have an M, however you want to look at it. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to like glue this together. And I have an excess amount here. A tiny bit that I did not get totally lined up. Okay, so this is what we have. So I'm going to glue this little part together. Okay, so right in here is where I'm adding my glue, and I want it to stay glued. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue and put it all over and hope that it will stay. And I'm going to try not to squish it all out. I don't want to make a mess. So I'm just kind of folding that together. Press that down like so. Okay, so that this is also going to be a gift card holder. Okay, so now we need to glue this end, or this piece side, I guess. It's not really a piece. So I just put a tiny little bit of glue. So this is what I have after I glued the middle. So I laid it down flat and I pulled this flap towards me and I'm gluing the sides down. Okay, maybe I'll add a tiny bit more glue here. Not a ton. Oh, I'm not even getting any out. Come on, glue. There we go. That might be too much. Okay, so then I'm going to fold that up and press that into place. That's going to be our little pocket for our gift card. I'm going to get this glue off my hand. Okay, so there we have a little pocket. I have a gift card somewhere. Here's one. And so that'll just slide right in there nicely, okay? All right, so then, as you can see, I have taken a piece of real red cardstock and I have taken 2 of the layering dies. You can do whatever, however you want to do it. I took, let's see, where are the dies? I can give you an idea of which ones I used. So I have all of my rectangle shaped-ish dies over here. So I have taken not the largest one, but the next one here. And then not the next one, but the next one. Okay, does that make sense? And I ran it through. I nested them together. I used a little bit of washi tape so they wouldn't move. And now I'm just going to very carefully pull this off. Okay, there we have that. Then I am going to pop it out of there. So I'm being very gentle again. I'm just kind of lifting up on the die and running my finger under that so that it will come out hopefully nicely and not look like a mess. Oh, I haven't been looking at any of the... Carol had a hard time finding me. Carol, you can always find the link to this live on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/stampinismyjob. That is my Facebook group. You can always find the link there. I try to post it twice, once in the afternoon and then once right before I go live. You can find it there. Or you can just, well, if you're a subscriber to my YouTube channel, which you can subscribe, I think it's right down here in the corner, and then click that little notification bell. When I do, I'll create the live event, usually a couple days to a week before it's actually live. And I think that you get notified if you're following me on YouTube that I have an event coming up. And then as soon as I start the video, you should get a notification also. Okay. Oh, and I don't need this. So here's just a little... now I have this rectangle that I can save for some other project. So we'll just pull this off. So we have a fun little rectangle here, and then we have our little, basically like a window, okay? And now I have these old sanding blocks that Stampin' Up! Used to sell, because sometimes I get little bits on the edges. You can use, some of you that may get your nails done professionally, your nail tech might use something like this. You can use these too. This is something that I think Stampin' Up! Used to sell. Then we went to that, and then we just quit selling them altogether. But they're kind of a handy little unit if you can get your hands on them to, sandpaper would probably work too, just to get, sometimes you get little extra bits on the outside edges of these things, and you can just kind of clean them up with the sanding block. Okay, so now we have this. We need to just cut this in half. It doesn't really matter if you use a paper cutter or your scissors, because we're going to kind of cover it up, I think. I don't even know how long this is. I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to put it at the 2.5 inch mark here and cut it. Was that pretty close? Yeah, pretty close. Okay, so then we're going to put one of them on the front of the card. But here's a trick. If you want to mail this, bring yourself an envelope. Okay, get an envelope so that when you stick this on, it's not going to be outside your envelope. Okay, so I just kind of want it about like this. So it's going to kind of look like a gift bag, but it's a card. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of glue down here at the bottom of these handles. Okay. And I'm actually going to bring in my grid paper, and I'm going to do this. So if I start down here at 7, I can go up to, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can go up to this line right there. It's the highest I could go. I don't need to go quite that high, but I could. Okay, and I'm going to try to make sure that it's lined up nicely. Yes, pro tip. Okay, then this little guy we're going to add to the back of the card. So we're going to add a little bit of glue again to the bottom of the handles. And then this time we're going to line these two up. Okay, so you want your handles to line up. And then when you press it down, then they're lined up. So this is what you have then. So you're going to like a little gift bag, but yet it's a gift card holder. Cute, right? Okay, so then, so this area on the front here is 4 by 4. So I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz that's 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to add this to the front. Get some glue on there. And so I'm going to be able to cover the handles on the front. And then if you want to cover the handles on the back, you can. I would probably recommend using the same color of cardstock that you already have. Like I would recommend using Real Red on the back. And then I took this pattern of the Designer Series paper. And so this is 3 7/8 square. So this is 3 3/4 square. And we'll just add a little glue to this. And then we'll get this on the front here. Super cute gift card holder. Very, very simple to make. If you don't have the rectangle dies, what you can do is you can cut a rectangle out of cardstock. So say, let's see, what is this? So this is about 3.5 inches. And then of course we knew that this was about about 2.5-ish. So it was like 3.5 by 5. And you could take your 3.5 by 5 inch piece of cardstock and you can, where's my trimmer? You can stick it in your trimmer. Well, let's just do it. I've got a scrap piece of cardstock here that we can quickly cut. So we said 3.5, and we guesstimated about 5. Okay, so if you want to make this without having the dies, you can then take this piece of cardstock, slide it over to the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm using this side of the trimmer. I've got it slid over to the 1/2. And then when I close this, I'm going to start at the 1/2. So right here is the 1/2 on the arm. And so sometimes if I turn my trimmer like this, I have a little bit better luck lining this up. So I'm going to go 1/2 and I'm going to come down to 4.5. Okay. Open it up. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to put it back to the 1/2 inch mark. We're going to do this again. We're going to start at the 1/2, which should be exactly where we started here. And since we've got 3 inches, we're going to go to 2.5. Whoops, I think I might have went a little, not quite far enough. Oh, it was 3.5, so we got to go to 3. And then we will slide this over. Again, start at the 1/2, go down to 4.5. One more time, and then you will basically have the exact same thing. You just wouldn't have the fun stitched detail that I have with the dot. Okay, and then you would pop this out and you would have basically the same thing. Cut that in 1/2 and you'd have some handles. Okay, so that's in case you don't have the dies. So we've got this done. We've got our gift card inside. I do have a little piece of designer series paper to kind of mark that little area. So this little area is 1.5 by 4. So this is 1.25 by 3 3/4. Okay, and add this to this little pocket. This is just kind of the pocket. You'll see it. And then I think I have a piece, here we go, a piece of white. So this is 3 3/4 square. So it's going to go, oh no, 3 7/8, sorry. 3 7/8 inch square. So we're just going to drop that right on the inside. And this is where you can put your message or, you know, do a little fun stamping, whatever you decide you might want to do on the inside. Okay. There we go. So then for the outside, I just wanted to be kind of simple. So here is what I cut. Remember how I told you I used that little die from the Warm Wraps die set, because it has the little stitching lines on it. So you can see this has some fun little stitching lines. And then I did also cut a circle out of red that is just slightly larger than this. So I just figured out which one was slightly larger, and now I can't remember which one it was, but it's slightly larger. And then we're going to add these together about like so. Okay, so they're going to be on the front. Then I wanted to make a tree with the tree stamps, and so I've got a couple of the stamps out of the Perfectly Plaid set. So I've got this little guy here, this little bushy one here, and then this little tiny trunk. Okay, little trunk. So I decided that I grabbed my basic white, and it just felt like the basic white was too bright for the front of this card. Let me grab some here and I'll show you. So I felt like my basic white was too white. So I opted for our shimmery white, which is a little bit more vanilla-y than white. And I felt like it made a nicer tree. I liked it a lot better. So, all right. So we've got some Mossy Meadow ink here. So I'm going to do the more detailed tree in the Mossy Meadow. And we'll just stamp this right here. And then the bushier tree, I'm going to go with Pear Pizzazz. And if I'm careful, I try to line this up. Hopefully it'll work. I think it did. And then my little tree trunk. Where are you, little tree trunk? Here we go. I can add my little tree trunk over the stem at the bottom. And then when I cut this out, it'll be like a whole tree. And then it won't be too bright white. And then that is just going to go right on this little label here. We're going to do it with some dimensionals. So we'll use a big and a small. Debbie, thank you. It was fun watching you stamp your like. Oh, thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you all for watching me, you guys. It helps my channel so much to have you guys out here watching me, and commenting and liking and sharing and all that kind of stuff. It helps me out tremendously. Okay. So then on the inside, I'm just going to stamp Merry Christmas. And this is also out of the same set, the Perfectly Plaid. So we're just going to do that in red. And we'll do it like this. And then you'll still have some space to write a message if you want to. And then on the front, we have our little thing here. And we have some ribbon. This is the, what is this called? Real Red sheer ribbon. It's actually on the retirement list. I think it's on sale. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but it is on sale. And so we're going to just make a little bow here with this fun ribbon. This actually ties really nicely too, you guys. So many of our ribbons tie nicely. So sometimes we have ribbons that don't, but these are the ones that I've used tonight. They do. I really like them. Okay, I need some scissors. Where are, so let's trim that off. All right, so this bow is going to just kind of go right here on the side of the gift bag, quote unquote. And then I thought the last thing I might do is bring in some of this twine. This is the Simply Elegant trim. And I keep mine with this paper clip. I just find that it stays in place better. I need to find my take your pick tool and a piercing mat because I need to poke a hole in this. We're going to try to do it right there. Got a lot of junk here in my way now. Okay, so I am going to hopefully push this through. There we go. And I kind of... is that going to work? I think if I use a glue dot, it probably will. I didn't think through all the way, but I think it'll still work. And I don't think I gave myself enough twine. Do you ever do that? Ugh, so annoying. I'm going to try to do it without cutting another piece. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. There we go. Okay. So we'll just pull that tight. And since it's kind of already on the bow, I'm going to put some glue dots on the back here. So where did my glue dots even start? Here's one. So I'm going to use my fingernail to kind of pull that off. And I'm going to add it so it's over the twine and on the ribbon also. I should have kind of put this in while I was tying my bow with the ribbon, but I didn't. And so now we're going to just improvise and it should work. Okay, and then move your, out of the way, take your pick tool. There. And so then it kind of flops around like it would on the front of a gift bag. And then you open it up, you've got your gift card, and then it fits nicely, perfectly inside an envelope. So you could give it to somebody, you could mail it, whatever you want to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Oh, you know what we should do? We should stamp this envelope. Let me just quickly stamp a tree down here. There. So there, now we have that. All right, let me bring in the rest of the projects that we did today. And just as a little reminder, everything is in the description of this video. You can purchase my online classes down there. You can purchase cards from me, the last chance list, and the carryover list are down there. That doesn't go with this. So we have this, and then we have this gift card holder too. And yay! So thank you guys. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? hold on. I was going to add some red rhinestones to this tree, because why not, right? We could add some ornaments to the tree. These little red rhinestones are just so fun to use, and you get so many of them on the sheet. How about one like down here too? How about another one? How about one like right there in the middle? There, that's what it needed. It needed some rhinestones. Okay, so here's our projects. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, all that stuff you guys do to help me out so much. I appreciate it so much, you guys. I'm really kind of trying to grow my business. I've been working at it since my mom passed away a couple years ago. It kind of ebbs and flows. I was working it pretty hard. Mom got sick, then she passed away, and I've been trying to bring it back. So all of you guys watching me and liking and subscribing and all that stuff helps me out more than you can imagine, more than you know. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. So have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye-bye.